What's up, everyone? I hope everyone's week is going well. I hope everyone's doing fantastic. And I hope everyone had a lovely Veneralia, whether you celebrate or not. Don't mind my voice going out. Um, April 1st and the whole month of April is really important to me in a variety of ways. I hope that this month has started fabulously for everyone and is treating everyone fantastically. Even with the retrograde that started, I think I've mentioned this before. My my Uranus is in the third house, so especially during retrograde, my my like technology, anything technology related, just like shorts out for me. It like refuses to work. I've already had issues, like, I've already had issues with trying to upload videos and stuff. It's been ridiculous, and it's April 3rd by my count. So, I'm sure that's going to be a lovely next couple weeks. But we persevere. I'm sure that I'll have an amazing April regardless. And I'm sure, and I really hope at least everyone else has a really lovely April as well. All right. Speaking of going down paths and the next month and whatnot, we are going to be doing a reading today for what direction do you need to go in right now. So, what do your guides want to tell you about the direction that you should be going in right now? We're going to have 4 piles. Pile number 1 is going to be the 2 of spades. Pile number 2 is going to be the 6 of hearts. Pile number 3 is going to be the 5 of spades. And pile number 4 is going to be the Ace of Spades. And for the collective, we've got the Jack of Clubs. So the Jack of Clubs is indicative of the Knight of Wands. That is Sagittarius energy. We are looking at charging forward down the path in front of you. I'm getting that Aries season is going to end with a bang for everyone. This reading is timeless, but we are currently sitting right at the end of Aries season, where I'm sitting right now. So regardless of when you're seeing this reading, the next couple weeks, we're looking at like 2 to 3 weeks, the pace is going to start picking up around you, especially if you've been in more of a like stagnant, not even hermit mode, but more like a like 2 of Swords mode where like you've been kind of a little bit on guard. It feels almost a little bit on guard. If you've been in that kind of energy lately, the next couple weeks are going to be taking you out of that and putting you in something much more forward moving, productive. The word productive comes to mind, especially if you've been feeling like blocked creatively, work wise, school wise, even. That's going to start easing up. All right. Now, again, the piles are going to be pile number 1 with the 2 of spades, pile number 2 with the 6 of hearts, pile number 3 with the 5 of spades, and pile number 4 with the Ace of Spades. All right. And we're starting off with pile number 1 and the 2 of spades. My cat is trying to use this moment to get into his food bag. He's staring at me from on top of his food bag. It's ridiculous. He's such a little brat. All right. Now the 2 of spades is indicative of 2 of Swords energy. This is the strongest energy of the collective, where we were mentioning very specifically, in fact, the 2 of Swords. I get the feeling that you have been in stagnation for at least the past couple weeks. I'm getting for much longer for most of you, though. We're looking at months, maybe even years. There's this feeling of stagnation. And I think it's important to know that this time period has been important for your growth. It hasn't just been a time of, it hasn't been wasted time. And I know that especially when it comes down to like giving years, but even when it comes down to just giving like weeks, days even, like feeling like you're stuck, it feels like a giant waste of time. But I'm getting already that you are being guided to look at things from a different direction. You are being guided to think more outside of the box and change your perspective around. Again, the next couple weeks are going to be really, really intense for you, I'm getting. Again, this reading is timeless, but right now, and that is the King of Coins popping out with that Taurus energy, doubling down on the next couple weeks of your life are going to be really intense. We're going from Aries season to Taurus season right now. And I was literally about to say again, this reading is timeless, but I am sitting literally right at the end of Aries season. We're in the beginning of April. We're looking at the next month to 2 months of your life is going to be much more charged than this period has seen it. There's this energy almost of being like pulled out of the mud. Yeah, a lot of you have definitely been feeling very, very stuck. Like the word stuck is very important. It feels like the energy feels almost sticky. I don't know if that makes any sense. There's this feeling of like almost like emotional stickiness to it. And I think what's trying to be translated there is a feeling of discomfort. This hasn't been a fun period of stagnation. Again, it's likely that's why you feel that it might have been a little bit of a waste of time. One, again, soon you're going to find that the time that you've spent in this period has been very important. And you'll see it in the next chapter of your life, particularly moving forward in the next few months of your life. But secondly, if you need to hear this, know that society has a really weird obsession with age, and you don't waste time when you grow. Everyone needs the time to grow. No one is born fully formed. Do you know what I mean? You're not wasting your time, and you're not losing time. You're not losing the best years of your life. You're not growing older and losing all of the time that you have left. Like, regardless of where you are in your life, there's still life in you and ahead of you. You know what I mean? Like, no one can tell how much is there, but I guarantee you there is still life in you and ahead of you, at least for now. Like, you're being guided to embrace that, I'm hearing. Life can feel very heavy, and it can feel, I'm getting even very unfair sometimes. And you're right, life is very heavy and very unfair sometimes. But soon you're going to see that life can also be very light and very bright. And it can bring you a lot of miracles that from a different perspective might seem unfair in the best way possible. We're getting Wheel of Fortune energy here. The wheel is turning for you. And it may have felt stuck for the last period of your life. You're going to feel it start turning for you very soon, though. Especially if you've been putting out feelers. I'm getting with an emphasis on career, especially if you've been looking for work, if you've been out of work for a very long time. If you have been putting out feelers recently, expect a message back. Like, expect a response soon. And if you have been nervous about putting out feelers, don't be afraid. Like, I'm looking for the best way to say it. Don't be afraid. Put yourself out there, and people will be very receptive to you. I promise. People will be much more receptive to you than you're giving yourself credit for. And we've got the Six of Swords popping out there. Yeah, with moving forward, moving from one kind of disastrous shore, I'm getting it can feel disastrous, to a much safer, calmer, more peaceful shore. One that actually has a future ahead in it for you. Again, the wheel is moving forward for you. You are going to be seeing an uptick soon. Literally. I'm getting a leveling up period of your life. This next period of your life is going to be very fast-paced. I'm sorry, don't mind me losing my voice. All right. What more can we know, please, about what direction you need to go in? All right, and we've got the Ace of Blades. Yeah, the message card, or a message card. Expect some kind of message coming through, and it's going to light a fire and open a pathway for you. I'm getting road opening energy. If anyone has been thinking about doing any kind of road opening work, or any spiritual work like that, this is your sign and validation that that is an excellent idea. The path, the direction that you need to go down, it's going to be very clear to you extremely soon. I'm getting I'm getting lights, fireworks. Like, it's going to be marked for you, and you will see where you are meant to go next. It's very energized. Energized energy. That sounds so lame. But it feels very Energizer Bunny like, you know what I mean? Especially after a period of stagnation, it's really great. It feels very forward moving. It feels like being beckoned almost. And traditionally, the Ace of Swords is depicted by a hand reaching out and holding a sword. It feels almost beckoning with that hand. You know what I mean? You are going to be, there's a feeling of calling. You're going to feel called to where you're going next. And for some of you, it will be a literal call. It will be a phone call. It'll be a text. It'll be an email. It will be a literal call offering you something that will show you the way forward. And we've got the Five of Batons, and this is something competitive. I'm definitely getting that the next chapter of your life is going to see competition, especially if you have been in a period of isolation in any way. The next period of your life might feel a little bit intense. This is the warning that, like, it might feel a little bit intense. I'm getting, like, meditation and specifically, like, energy work, if you're into that kind of thing, would be likely very useful in the next chapter of your life moving forward. But this is the warning that there is competition moving forward, and I'm getting that most of you already know that, especially if this is career oriented or any kind of application oriented. I'm definitely getting that most of you already know that competition is on the horizon for you. So sorry about that. Anyway, as I was saying, this is just the validation I'm getting that competition is on the horizon during this next venture in your life, during down the path, the direction that you're going. Again, I'm getting that a lot of you already know that though. Like you're already aware of the fact that this next chapter of your life is going to be a lot more extrovertedly driven than the one that you are currently ending right now. And it's going to involve a lot of interactions with people, and not all of those are going to be wholly positive. Not all of them are going to be negative in any way, but not all of them will be wholly positive, and that's totally okay. Especially if you have issues with anxiety, or if that has been something that's weighing on your mind heavily moving forward. Don't be afraid. You have everything necessary to move forward with all of the chance in the world, frankly. It is comforting in a way that competition is on the horizon. It means that you have what it takes to compete. You show up as a valid competitor, and that is all you need is your foot in the door. You're going to do fantastic. And we've got the Four of Coins coming up at the exact center of your 5-card spread. The Four of Coins is doubling down on that energy of having everything that you need. The Four of Coins traditionally in the Rider-Waite deck is depicted by a man who's like holding in almost an awkward way, like almost like he's hugging it to himself, a pentacle, while he has his 3 other pentacles touching him in one way or another. Almost protective, very protective energy there. It is a sign of material safety. Especially if you are someone who's worried about your finances specifically with this venture moving forward. This is even a bank account in this specific card being highlighted. If you are worried about your finances moving forward, especially if it's a business venture, if you're thinking about starting a small business or investing in any way, or even spending a large chunk of money just on something, on some sort of investment that you've really wanted, even if it's a personal thing, this is your validation that you have what you need to do that safely and financially soundly. I think that's how it should be said, rather, financially soundly. I'm getting that you are very sound with your money. Like you are very, very wise with your expenditure. You're very, very self-controlled with how you spend your money. And frankly, that energy can lead to a little bit of anxiety when it comes to spending any amount of money that you do not usually spend or you don't usually budget for. This is just a sign that you have what you need. Even if it's just personal, even if it's just something for pleasure, like everything in life, everything in life is worth putting, everything in life is in one way or another, in one form or another, will be worth putting yourself out there for, right? And we've got the Lovers, in this case the Avatar is coming out, and the three meetings specifically being highlighted here. This card highlights the choice in the Lovers card. Again, this is the direction that you'll be going down, the direction that you're being guided down right now. It's definitely coming up as a crossroads. You are being given a choice here. You will be given a choice here. You're going to accept it or decline it, and the path that you venture down after that will be determined by that fact. It's not a coincidence that it's coming up right after the message of the fact that you have everything that you need to soundly make a big decision that you've been weighing on your heart and on your mind. The Lovers is about making big choices and big commitments. You even if you're feeling powerless right now, soon the weight of your destiny, the weight of your future, it's going to be in your hands. And you will have the power to decide whether or not you move forward. I hope that comes with some level of comfort, especially if you've been feeling trapped or stagnant, or like you haven't had any sort of options over this last period of your life. Soon you will be getting options, and they will come and continue to come as you keep making the big decisions and moving forward. You're definitely being guided down a path of acceptance here. It'll be your choice, but you're being guided to say yes and to see where that path takes you. And we've got the Queen of Coins and all that luxury coming out at as the last card of your 5-card spread, with the Fool as the bottom card as the bottom deck. Words are so difficult for me right now, and I have no idea why. This next chapter of your life will be very intuitively guided. I'm getting that you have already been leaning more into your intuition lately. This next week will likely be very big for your intuition. If you lean into what is offered to you intuitively, I'm getting that you'll be able to glean a lot of messages. You'll be offered a lot of messages. If you believe in that kind of thing, of spirituality, if any kind of magic is your thing, you'll be offered a lot if you lean into it over the next week. This reading is timeless again, but the next, I believe April 8th, is going to be a solar eclipse. And I'm getting that energy is going to weigh very heavily on you. There's going to be very transformative, it's going to be a really transformative period for you. This reading is timeless, so if you're catching this at a time other than the beginning of April when I post this, the next week of your life is going to see some very important forward motion. I'm getting clarity. Things are going to be cleared up for you. If you've been feeling confused about something lately, if you've been feeling like you're missing something, some piece of something that would allow you to make a choice to move forward, you're going to be getting clarity on that very soon, over the next week. Again, a big message is coming in. The choices will make themselves known very, very soon. You're a hard worker. You're definitely a really hard worker. And I'm getting that you're really hard on yourself. You don't give yourself quite enough credit. I'm getting that with the Capricorn energy coming through with the Queen of Coins. This is long-standing energy. Capricorn energy is long-term goals rather than short-term goals. This last period of your life may have felt like an eternity, regardless of how long it was even. Whether it was years, whether it was even days. It may have felt like an eternity. But moving forward, you're going to see just how much you've gleaned from that, just how much you've really picked up from the past period of your life, and how much of it was necessary. Like, the next period of your life will be possible because of what you've done and what you've picked up over this last period of your life. And we've got the King of Pentacles coming out to match the Queen of Pentacles. You're going to be finding balance. That comes through in the Lover's card as well. You're going to be finding balance moving forward. And I'm getting specifically balance in your introverted and extroverted energy. You're going to start feeling more comfortable out in public and being seen. I'm getting very specifically being seen, even if it's not out in public, even if it's online or anything like that. You're going to be feeling more comfortable being seen. And we've got the the 9 of cups popping out right there. I have been manifesting you for so long. This is a change that you've wanted for a long time. It's going to feel very dramatic. That Fool energy right there, it's going to feel very, very dramatic. It will feel like a new beginning. But trust that it's something that you've wanted for a very long time, and trust that it's something that you've deserved for even longer. You just needed the time that you've had to learn some lessons that I'm getting you won't even really understand until you need them. And we've got the 7 of Wands, prove you want it. The 7 of Wands is a card of, it's a card of perseverance. You're being guided to continue moving forward. And I'm getting specifically even through any sort of anxieties or fears that you might have. You're being guided to push through them and to make the choice that you know intuitively is right for you. And we've got the Moon card. Moonlight reflects off eyes and teeth. Intuitively. Again, you're being guided very strongly intuitively. Don't tune that out. Regardless of how intense the feelings might be, and how much you may feel like you are not prepared for where you are being led. Don't tune those feelings out. You're being guided to lean into it and to let yourself transform. All right, loves, that is what I've got for you. Thank you so much for being here again with me today. I hope it was fun. I hope it was enlightening. I will see you next time. Bye. All right, and we are on pile number 2 with the 6 of Hearts. The 6 of Hearts is indicative of the 6 of Cups. This is giving X energy. Whether romantic or platonic, this is definitely giving the energy of you're being heavily missed right now. And I'm getting that this person, or potentially for some of you, this group of people that are missing you right now, they hold a certain amount of closure that you're going to need before you move into the next chapter of your life. It feels very personal. This energy feels very, really, really intimate. Yeah, someone's definitely missing you. And I'm getting that you likely have been feeling this pull. It feels almost like a current, like a riptide, like being pulled back, like something is pulling you back, pulling you away from the path that you're walking down, pulling you away from the direction that you've been going in. At the very least, distracting you and making it difficult for you to continue moving forward. Yeah, it's the 6 of Cups that was indicative, or the 6 of Cups that was the pile marker for you. But this is very 5 of Cups energy as well. Someone is really, really missing you. All right. Let's see. What more can we know, please, about what direction you should go in right now? What direction do you need to be going in right now? Someone is remembering all of the good things that you did for them specifically, like all of the good times you had with them, but very specifically, all of the things that you did for them, all of the things that you offered them, all of the memories that they have of you caring for them specifically. Someone is dwelling on those memories right now, whether romantic or platonic. This is this is definitely someone who I'm getting is going through a big change in their own life. There's this feeling that your destinies are still linked. I personally don't quite believe in twin flames. That's a very personal belief. But that is kind of the only phrase that comes to mind with the energy that I'm feeling here. There's this energy that you two still have unfinished business, like destiny-wise, fate-wise. Like there's still unfinished business between the two of you. And this person is on the cusp of a big new venture in their life. And I'm getting that you are likely on the cusp of a big new venture in your own life as well. And you're both being drawn back by this link between the two of you. I am getting that you are being pulled back more by someone actively thinking about you. So it does feel a little more intense on your end. It feels less nostalgic on your end. It feels a lot more like you would rather not, basically. And we've got the Six of Coins coming out. The Six of Coins is a card of mental and physical balance. It's also a card of charity. This is, again, this is someone who you did a lot for, you cared for in a lot of ways. And those are the memories that they're going through right now. And again, I'm getting that for you, this might feel like a ball and chain, something dragging you back actively. For them, this feels much more nostalgic. This feels much more like reminiscing on things that bring them comfort, that bring them balance. They remember you very fondly. And I'm getting that that might not be reciprocal. Depending on how this person left your life, depending on why this person left your life, depending on why you left this person's life, it might not necessarily be reciprocal. But I am getting that on their end, it brings them a certain level of comfort, even if on your end, it brings you the exact opposite of that as you try to move forward in your lives individually with your next chapters. And we've got the Hanged Man. This is someone dwelling on you. Yes, this is someone very heavily dwelling on you. And there is a little bit of tension. The Hanged Man is traditionally depicted by Odin hanging on the Tree of Life, sacrificing himself to himself in order to get the knowledge of the runes. And in these cards, it's depicted by a sniper hanging from a ceiling and facing the card that represents the memories that this person has of you. And so there is a little bit of tension here. I'm getting that there's some level of guilt because this person knows that they shouldn't find comfort in these memories. For a lot of you, this is someone who has not been in your life for a very long time. So long, in fact, that some of you may feel like you have to be imagining this connection that's still between the two of you because it doesn't make sense for it to still be there. But it is. This person is stuck on you and has been stuck on you. And I'm getting that it's likely that this pull towards each other has come and gone in waves, whether either of you has ever given into it or not. Like, it's come and it's gone in waves. And now that you're standing on the brink of a very new and important venture in your lives individually, that link is very heavily activated, let's say, because this person doesn't want to move forward into the next chapter of their life while letting go of you entirely. They are stuck on their memories of you. And I'm getting that it can be the act of that, the fact of that, can be very frustrating for them. The memories bring them comfort. The nostalgia bring them a certain level of peace. But the fact that they find that there, the fact that that is there at all, it is rather frustrating for them at best. I'm even getting for some like a certain level of guilt. Again, depending on how things ended, there may be a certain level of guilt attached to even wanting you back in their life or using you and your memories in any way for comfort. And we've got the Moon card, the Shadows card in this deck popping out at the exact center of the 5-card spread. Now that's 2 Pisces cards in a row. The Hanged Man is indicative of Neptune, and the Shadow card, the Moon card, is indicative of Pisces. Piscean energy really strongly here. I'm getting 12th house energy. Again, with that intuitive link, it's almost like you two are linked through the ether, let's say. Very, very, very strong mental link. This is definitely someone who you were rather intimate with. You had a very strong connection with, regardless of whether or not that connection was romantic, platonic, familial, friendship, like regardless of what it was a connection that was a connection where you really opened up to this person. And it allowed a very specific link to form between the two of you. And if you are the kind of person that believes in things like destiny, it's likely that you two always had a certain level of involvement in each other's lives. The Moon card popping out at the center of the deck also indicates the fact that this person thinks of you very heavily at night. The last thoughts that they have in their head before they go to sleep, again, they find a lot of comfort in the memories that they have of you. So on nights that are hard, even nights that are hard because they're missing you, even nights that are hard because they're missing you and they feel guilty for missing you, the memories that they have of you are still very comforting. They still bring them a lot of comfort. This person thinks of you a lot at night. So if you've been having issues sleeping, if you've been having like really intense dreams or anything like that, especially if you've been having dreams that you can't remember in the morning, like you sleep, you know that you had a dream, you know that you had a very, very intense dream, but all of the details slip away from you. Like the more you try to catch them, the more they slip through your fingers. If you've been having those kinds of frustrating experiences, I would suggest cleansing yourself, cleansing your bedroom, cleansing your bed. Like, even when it comes down to like maybe washing your bed sheets, like there's a very strong connection here. And if you've been having disruptive sleep and that's something that's really bothering you, taking certain cleansing precautions will hopefully help with that. But again, there is a certain level of connection here that can't be helped. Secondly, this person is seeing things from a very distorted, let's say, point of view. They have memories of you that they have amplified in a lot of ways, basically. Again, this is likely someone who's been out of your life for a certain amount of time, for like a decent amount of time, and they've had the time to kind of distort their memories of you. And so sometimes they feel really, really positively about you. Again, with these memories that they have that bring them a lot of joy and a lot of comfort. And sometimes they remember really bad memories, why you left their life, why you're no longer involved with them. And it brings up really intense negative emotions. The way these two dogs are fighting right there, literally two warring sides of themselves over the memory of you. Again, there's a certain level of guilt there. Like, even if it comes down to guilt and the fact that they feel weak for still being so attached to you, there's a certain level of guilt attached to how strongly they still want and need your memory. And we've got the Empress card. Regardless of how you identify, you are coming out as the Empress in this person's eyes. Regardless of how you identify, regardless of how they identify, you're coming out as someone incredibly abundant. Someone who, I'm getting someone who offers futures very specifically. This person, regardless of what kind of relationship you had with this person, they saw a future ahead of themselves with you in one way or another. This person saw a future, a very abundant future ahead of themselves with you. That all might have cracked and crumbled and fallen through their fingers in one way or another, but they did at one point see a productive, beautiful, fruitful future with you. And I'm getting that in a lot of ways, they feel like you took that away from them when you left, when your paths parted ways. They still feel like you have abundance in your grip and they can't access it in the same way anymore. Not to say that they aren't necessarily thriving in one way or another, not to say that they haven't moved on in most aspects of their life, especially like visually, you know what I mean? But there's a certain type of abundance that this person really wanted, and they wanted it with you, and they feel like you took it when you left. There's all three of the cards up until now have been dark. They've been very dark, very gloomy. To be fair, this deck, it kind of leans dark and gloomy in the energy. But these cards have been very dark, very, very shadowed. The Empress stands out so strongly with all of this light and all of this sunshine and those blue skies in the background. The vividness of it. You brought color and vividness to this person's life, and you still do. Even when it comes down to having to use your memories to instigate strong emotions in themselves, even when it comes down to remembering the bad times and making themselves so angry over it that they get heated, they can feel their blood heating. Like, nothing does that to them anymore unless it involves you. Things don't bring out the same response in them. Things don't bring out the same light and joy in them, even if they're enjoying their life, even if they have a lovely life, even if their life is super fruitful. It's not the type and color of fruitful that they had once with you. And that is really painful for them in a lot of ways. It is something that they refuse to let go of. Even as time passes, even as memories start to fade and fray and again distort themselves, it doesn't matter. This person holds on to it like trying to keep sand in their grip. You know what I mean? It feels very sad, actually. And I say that not trying to be mean. It just feels very, very sad. This person feels like a very sad person at their core. This is the kind of person who, let's say that you were living with them and you two had a falling out and you left, you moved out. This is the kind of person who would stay in the house that you two lived in just to hold on to the memory of you. The kind of person who would stay in the town that you two lived in to hold on to the memories that you two had and the places that you went together. They might never admit that to themselves, but I am definitely getting that they're less covert about this energy than they think they are, than they try to be at least. They are very attached to what they have left of you. And it doesn't matter how much that fades. They still see you as the brightest point in their life. And we've got the Ace of Coins coming out to round out the 5-card spread. They want a new beginning with you. They want a new beginning with you, and I'm getting that's something that they, one, no, probably is not on the table, not likely, and two, I'm getting a certain amount of guilt for that. I'm getting a certain amount of guilt for even wanting to try again, for even wanting to try to rebuild what you two had had before, instead of just moving on and keeping the memories that they had. And we're getting the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. The Queen of Cups is very intuitive. She is very emotionally driven. This person, who I'm getting, is typically a pretty logical person, likely, who might, in fact, live in their heads in one way or another on most days. When it comes to you, they have no explanation. Their emotions guide them and they go with the flow. And sometimes they think that the flow is something they can't avoid, and sometimes they go completely willingly. It's just really sad energy. And it's really, really sad energy. And it's really interesting because in a reading about what direction you should be going in, the message that you're getting more than anything else is that to move forward, you will likely be getting some kind of closure from this person, or I'm getting some kind of message from this person. They want to reach out. They want a certain level of closure. But to get closure is to nail the coffin, so to say. You know what I mean? This person is wary of really ending things. As things stand now, it's likely that there's still a chance, at least in their head, where on a miracle day, you two run into each other or something and you can rekindle what you had, regardless of what kind of relationship that was. If you seal everything, if you really end everything, there will be no reason to even stop and talk to each other. Like, this person who typically weighs everything very logically, and I'm getting can be rather selfish. Frankly, someone who holds on this strongly to a memory like this, to the point where I'm getting the people in their life might pay for it a little bit. Like, again, they are not as covert about this. The word obsession came to mind. They're not as covert about their really intense link to you as they'd like to think they are, basically. And that connection might even hurt some of the people in their life that are, like, really aware of it. You know what I mean? There's a certain level of selfishness that comes with it, and I'm getting that's likely where the guilt is coming from as well. All right. What more can we know, please, about what direction you should go in? You will continue down your path no matter what. If this person never reaches out, If this person stays in their thoughts, if this person refuses to look at the truth of things as it is for the rest of their lives, that'll be on them. It's unfortunate because that link is to you as well. You'll feel it, but you will continue forward down your path no matter what. You are still the abundant person that you were always meant to be. I'm getting that part of why they feel like abundance was lost to them when they lost you is because you were the person that brought all of the light, and you were the person that brought all of the ideas and the fun and the joy. Not that this person isn't fun or joyous, but they didn't light the room the way that you light the room. So you didn't lose that light when you walked away from the situation. They did, though. You will continue down your path. And you will manifest, you are manifesting a future that will be very abundant for you. If this has been bothering you a lot, I would definitely advise cleansing. All right, what more can we know, please? About what direction you should go in. And we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Prove yourself to me and I will give you the world. Don't waste my time. I have work to do. The energy that you are embodying all the way through. There's a lot of earth energy on your end here. And it matches very well with the Piscean, Cancer, water energy on the other end with this person there. There's definite compatibility there. I can see how the link exists. You, however, are being guided to lean into your grounding and to allow yourself to continue to move forward. You have work to do, I'm getting, like, and you know what that is. Like, you're very invested in the work that you're doing right now. You don't necessarily have time to deal with someone who is stuck on you and has been stuck on you. And you're being guided not to. You're being guided not to deal with that. It's not your problem. And we've got the Seven of Wands, the Perseverance card, prove you want it. Now, the Seven of Wands traditionally is depicted by a man who is batting off a bunch of sticks that are going up towards him. It might feel like whacking, like whack-a-mole almost, to try and get all of these energies off of you, all of these attachments off of you. But the perseverance will be worth it. Continuing to move forward, even if it feels like something is a ball and chain around your ankle, it'll be worth it in the end when you see where you end up. All right, loves, that is what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for being here with me again today. I hope it was fun. I hope it was entertaining. I will see you next time. Bye. All right, and we are on pile number 3 with the Five of Spades. Now, the Five of Spades is indicative of the Five of Swords. This is the card of difficult wins. In a lot of ways, the word gruesome even comes to mind. Like, wins where you give a lot of yourself. Wins where it takes a lot of effort. And sometimes the win itself isn't so clean. You have been putting a lot of yourself into something, and I'm getting that it's likely something that you have been trying at, something that you've tried before. This is an avenue, a path, a direction that you have tried before, and you failed. Maybe not failed all the way, but you didn't do as well as you wanted to do. You didn't achieve what you wanted to achieve. And now you're looking. Yeah, we've got the Seven of Coins and the Fool card popping out right there. This is something that you put a lot of work into. This is something that you put a lot of effort into. And it didn't work out in the way that you wanted it to work out. Even if it worked out in some form, it did not work out in the form that you wanted it to work out. You are being given the chance to try again, is what I'm getting. You're being given the chance to give it another shot with this Fool card here. And you're being guided to take the leap. You're being guided to trust yourself and take the leap. You have what it takes. Sometimes it's circumstance. Sometimes it's luck of the draw. You'll never know all of the specific reasons why things didn't work out exactly how you wanted them to work out before. But it'll be worth it to try again. It's going to be worth it to try again. All right. What more can we know, please? About what direction you need to go in right now. What direction are you being guided in right now? This feels very sweet. Like I'm tasting almost ice cream. This feels very sweet. I'm hearing that this will be a very sweet win. When this comes through, when this works, when you come out on the other end of this try, having accomplished what you wanted to accomplish, it will be a very sweet win. It's something that's going to bring you a lot of joy. I'm getting the Sun card coming through. It is something I'm getting that will take a certain level of mustering up to attempt again, though, for whatever reason. I'm definitely getting a certain level of like imposter syndrome here. It's likely that you have psyched yourself up to a point where you are overestimating the challenge that you're looking at and really underestimating yourself in comparison to it. Especially again, if you have tried this before and it didn't work out the way that you wanted it to work out. Again, you'll never know all of the factors that go into why it didn't work out the first time. It'll always be worth trying again, though. And we're getting the Temperance card. Here, the Threshold card specifically. Thresholds are their borders. A threshold is the edge of something in a very rudimentary way. The threshold is the edge of something. You are on the brink of taking, I'm getting a rather big leap. And in a lot of ways, I'm getting that part of this really big leap is trusting in yourself. And for many of you, trusting in your growth, trusting in how far you've come since the last time you attempted something like this, or the last time you tried to put your effort towards something like this. You will find a lot of peace when you finally take the leap. You're going to find you'll find the balance there. I'm getting that you're going to find that what you were missing before, and for a lot of you, it was literally just experience. What you were missing before, you have in spades now. The Temperance card is about balance and internal peace. The way that she's balancing the two energies in her two hands there, right? You have a lot more power than you realize, and you are on the brink of figuring that out. You're on the brink of finding that out, and it'll bring you a lot of peace. It's going to bring you a lot of internal peace. I'm getting that it's going to bring you a lot of self-confidence. It's going to boost your self-esteem. Again, this is likely something that you didn't accomplish in the way that you wanted to accomplish before. Doing this again, getting it right in the way that you wanted to get it right, it's going to be an accomplishment for the books. It'll be something to remember for you for sure. And we've got the 10 of batons, the 10 of wands. You take on a lot of responsibilities as things stand. I'm getting, you're not afraid of hard work. You're not someone who's afraid to take on the brunt of the work and take on the brunt of the responsibilities when you enter into any kind of, I was going to say any kind of activity. That sounds kind of ridiculous though. But that genuinely is the case. This feels like a leadership role almost. Very much like you are someone who finds yourself often in the role of a leader, whether you want that or not, because you're willing to take on more responsibilities than other people. And frankly, because you're willing to sacrifice yourself in order to ease the burden on the people around you. You're a very caring person. And I'm getting that willingness to put yourself out there, that willingness to take on so much responsibility. Soon it'll show itself as being worth it. This is the energy of someone who had to mature very early in life. You're someone who likely is very used to taking on a lot of responsibility. You're very used to caring for the people around you. You are likely someone who had to grow up early or heard a lot through their childhood that they were very mature for their age, that they were an old soul. Like, you are not afraid of the burden. And soon you're going to see that the strength that you've gained from all of this, from the journey of your life, just from all of what you've experienced in your life, it's going to be very useful in this next chapter, and it'll help you achieve the goal that you're aiming to achieve. And we've got the Queen of Wands energy with all of that Aries energy, all of that fire energy. The Temperance card is also a Sagittarius energy. There's a lot of fire here. The Ten of Wands is also a fire card with the wands. Lots of fire. You have so much potential in you. It feels almost combustible, like fireworks. When you put yourself out there, you shine. I'm getting that you blow doors, like, especially if you're creative of any sort, if you're an artist, if you're someone who works in the realm of creation, I guess, whether that's content, whether that's traditional art, you are so much more talented than you realize. And I'm getting that for a lot of you, it's not even necessarily that you're being so hard on yourself. For a lot of you, you haven't gotten the recognition that you've deserved. You haven't gotten that's that Ten of Wands energy coming through. You're used to, for a lot of you, there's an energy of being used to feeling overlooked in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? So sorry about that. Anyway, as I was saying, for a lot of you, it's not necessarily even that you lack confidence in yourself because you're being too hard on yourself. It's that there's a lack of recognition going on here. There's always been talent here, but for whatever reason, and there are a myriad of reasons it could be, you haven't gotten the recognition that you really deserve. Which is unfortunate because I'm kind of getting that, like, jealousy might follow you around, especially your work, especially like if you're creative of some sort, or if you work in a highly competitive job. Like, there's an emphasis here on your work and potentially on your looks with that Queen of Wands energy and all of that fire energy, frankly. There is the sense that jealousy might follow you around a little bit, and it's interesting because that is obviously one way of complimenting someone in a really backwards way, right? And being jealous of them. But it's not the kind of validation that actually builds someone up, you know what I mean? You've been exposed to a lot of really really intense energies that haven't been necessarily the most positive, I'm getting. Even the really positive energies you've gotten, like, I'm getting that your work hasn't gotten, you haven't gotten the recognition that you deserve up until this point, and that's going to change very soon with this next step forward, with this next venture out down the path that you're going. You're going to be getting the recognition that you deserve, and you're going to be feeling as talented, and you're going to be feeling like you know what you're doing, like you have talent, like you have growth. It's going to be a really satisfying experience, I'm getting, and for a lot of you it's going to be a really what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to be an experience that really soothes any kind of like self-doubt you might have. And we've got the Five of Batons. Yeah, that doubles down on that jealousy energy. Definitely a sense here that part of why you maybe haven't had, up until this point, it's possible that you haven't had the best luck with people around you. As far as like support goes, or there's this energy of like negging going on here almost. Like again, people recognize your talent. Up until this point in your life, people have definitely recognized your talent. But when they recognize your talent, they respond to it in really base ways, I'm getting. Like ways that kind of highlight the fact that they're really jealous of you, ways that kind of highlight the fact that they're rather insecure. Like there's definitely the sense here that you have dealt with very insecure people throughout your life, and it's possible that they have projected a lot of that insecurity onto you at different points in your life. So it's possible that you have heard from people who may have potentially meant a whole lot to you things about yourself that frankly are not true. Things about yourself that like they are just projecting onto you. They were just projecting onto you. The direction that you're going in your life, the path that you're going down, it's going to rectify. That's the word I was looking for. It's going to rectify a lot of these situations and really bring home the idea that they were never right about you. These people, they were never correct about the negative things they said about you and the things that they said about you to put you down. And we've got the Three of Cups energy going on. And you're going to find better friends, lovers, just community. You're going to find better people to be around and better people to share your experiences with and your successes with, frankly. You have a lot of success on its way to you. The Three of Cups is a very celebratory card. You will be having things to celebrate very, very soon. The next chapter of your life is starting soon, I'm getting. There's going to be energy shaking up in the next couple weeks. All of this Wands energy. Wands are very fast paced. You're going to be seeing a lot of movement going on through the end of Aries season. It is going to bring you a lot of reasons to celebrate. You will have a lot of reasons to celebrate. And I'm getting that it will also introduce you to people who are worth celebrating with, people who you can give your energy to, people who you can give yourself to, people who you can give your support to, and they'll actually support you in return. You have more community on its way to you. I'm getting that you've definitely done your time in the trenches with people who were not the most supportive, with people who were not the best to have on your team or around you while you were trying to make things work, while you really needed the support to get things off the ground for yourself. You know what I mean? This next venture, this next try, you're going to be surrounded by people that actually really care about you, and past caring about you, people who actually really believe in what you can do, believe in what you have to offer. You're going to see a lot of success, and you'll see success this time around while surrounded with people, or surrounded by people who deserve to be around you during that success. Like, I think I've mentioned this before already. There's never, we can never know for sure why things didn't work out in the first place. There are always lots of variables, sometimes variables that have absolutely nothing to do with us. But sometimes things don't work out because the people that we have around us aren't meant to come with us into this next chapter. And there's definitely the energy here that you are meant to meet and grow with new people in the next chapter of your life. And we've got, yeah, the Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And see the way that he's like dragging his comrades with him and it's slowing him down. Again, there's this sense that you have not had the most supportive people in your life. And there's the possibility that you have been, whether consciously or not, carrying around the negativity that they kind of saddled you with, especially when it comes to the support that some people have given you. Like, oof, very few things get under my skin more than people who give like backhanded compliments. Like, what comes to mind most is when I was in high school, to get personal for a very brief second, when I was in high school, I had a friend, she was my best friend, and we went to prom stag together one year. And so we took our prom pictures together. And we went to show my family our prom pictures one day, and my grandmother, who was not a great person, is not a great person. She looked at my picture, she looked at our picture, and then looked my friend dead in the eye. We were like juniors in high school, and my friend had very severe body issues anyway, because we were juniors in high school. And my grandmother looks this girl in the eye and goes, "Wow, a pretty dress and a little bit of makeup, and it's crazy how much things can change." Like, the kind of comment that you're expected to smile and accept when it feels like a straight up backhand. Like, I hate backhanded compliments. And I feel like those are the kind of compliments that stick with you the most, because very often they're given to you by people who are supposed to care about you. Another really great example is my best friend. I was having horrible, horrible image issues because I was going through a very difficult health time in my life. I had lost a lot of weight for a variety of reasons, and I needed an entirely new wardrobe. Basically, none of my clothes fit me. And I put on pants, and my best friend, who I had not seen in months because she lived on an island at the time, she looked at me and went, "Those pants look really good on you. I bet you have problems with finding pants that don't make you look like a child." I remember being so caught off guard in that moment. She is not a person who's in my life anymore for a variety of reasons that boil down to the fact that that was a great example of the kind of person that she was. Backhanded compliments, the kind of comments that can stick with you forever. And that's just an example of things that like get under my skin, of something that I needed to talk about for some reason right there. It's just an example of the kind of things that get under my skin. This is the energy of carrying around comments that people have made about you, whether they were backhanded, whether they were direct, whether they were passive aggressive. Carrying around comments that people have made about you that, whether they're true or not, were inappropriate and were poorly timed and were poorly said. Like, were rude. The kind of comments that, like, if you really have to like boil it down to a certain demographic, they're rude. Like, at their core, they were the kind of things that don't really need to be said, the kind of things that stick in your mind like gum. and really genuinely affect how you operate moving forward, especially when you're dealing with something like feeling like you failed at something, feeling like you haven't accomplished something the way that you really wanted to accomplish it. You needed support at a time in your life when the people around you did not give you support, and you very much deserved that support. You're going into this now, you're going back into things now. And not only are you more prepared, you're going to be attracting a community of people that want to see you succeed. People that, rather than fighting you, rather than like competing with you, they celebrate with you. They want to see you succeed. They want to be there with you to hold up drinks and to cheers you. They want to be in your energy. There are people out there who want to support you, and they are on their way to you. This next chapter of your life, the direction that you'll find yourself going down, it's going to involve a lot of people, I'm getting. It's going to be a very extroverted journey. And I'm getting that it'll be people who really love you, people who really care about you, people who really want to see you succeed. You've done your time in the trenches with the people who were not so great. It's time that you get a supportive community, and that is exactly what is on its way to you. All right, what more can we know, please, about what direction you need to go in? All right, and we've got the 9 of Cups. I have been manifesting you for so long. See, this is something that you've wanted for a long time. This is a goal that you've had for a very long time. Again, a goal that you've likely tried before, or something similar that you've tried before that didn't quite pan out the way you wanted it to pan out, that didn't succeed the way that you wanted it to succeed. I'm not going to say that it failed, because you definitely feel like the kind of person who anything that's not exactly what you want it to be feels like a failure to you. You hold yourself to incredibly high standards. On top of the fact that you haven't had the best support system around you while you've been working, while you've been growing. It can be so hard to grow when you don't have supportive people and a supportive environment around you. But this is something that you have been manifesting for a very, very long time. It's going to be a wish coming true, and it's on its way to you. That is your next path. That is the direction that you are headed in. You are on your way to success. And the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck, you are exactly where you need to be. If you've been feeling trapped lately, if you've been feeling like you made a wrong turn, know that that is not the case. You are exactly where you need to be. Your wish is coming true very soon. And it's not just coming true because you deserve it, even though you do. It's not just coming true because it's a part of your destiny, even though it likely is. It's coming true because you've worked for it and because you deserve it. After everything, after all of the work, after all of the effort, you deserve the win, and the win is on its way to you. The next direction that you are in is a winning path. All right, love, that is what I've got for you. Thank you so much for being here again with me today. I hope it was fun. I hope it was enlightening. I will see you next time. Bye. All right, last but certainly not least, we are on pile number 4 with the Ace of Spades. Lots of spades energy for this reading. I'm getting a lot of mental growth. As a collective, just everyone is getting a lot of mental growth and mental and intuitive growth right now. I have a feeling that that is going to be most seen in this pile, seeing as it's the only pile that I mentioned it on. The Ace of Spades for me is always a bit of a gambling card. you are going to take a risk, or you are on the precipice of taking a risk. That is the direction that you are going in, and it is the direction that you are meant to continue going in. You're very clever. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that you're clever. I'm seeing a fox, like very foxy energy. Charming. Clever and charming. Very Gemini. This is Gemini energy. There's something very flighty about this energy. Hard to grasp. Especially romantically, I'm getting. You are a very good lover, but a very hard lover to catch. All right. What more can we know, please, about what direction you should go in? What direction do your guides want you to go in? So I'm seeing a tortoise and a hare. Slow and steady wins the race. That is a message that needed to come across right then. Slow and steady wins the race. If you have been working on something for a very long time, or especially if you've had an idea on the back burner for a very long time, and for whatever reason you haven't really been able to bring yourself to really commit to the idea, or not necessarily commit to the idea, but move from the planning and processing stage to the execution stage, basically. Particularly if that has been because of a lack of confidence in yourself or a lack of confidence in your abilities, there is the sense of a risk coming towards you, but it's a risk that is very, very calculated. Like, it might feel like you are leaping off into the distance. It might feel like you're not looking before you're leaping, but that is definitely not the case. That's not what's going on here. You're a very clever person. You have a lot of mental acuity going on for you. And though you may not feel totally prepared, you have everything that you need, and you've been prepping up until this point. I think I mentioned for the collective that you were likely in a period of stagnation for a little bit. That period may have felt a little bit heavy, a little bit weighted, almost like you had wasted some of your time, but that's not the case, and you're going to see that very soon. All of the planning that you did, even when you were just planning kind of idly, you know what I mean? Like, you were sitting down and you kind of were thinking about this idea and thinking about all of these ideas that you had to go with this idea. You were flourishing this just as like a daydream. That energy is going to come into play very soon with you. And it's going to show you that what you have been thinking and the plans that you have, they're valid. Not only are they valid, but they are intuitively and divinely gifted to you. You have a very strong sense of intuition, and I'm getting that it can be difficult for you to fully grasp that. Like, your intuition is very unique. There's a sense here that you are divinely blessed with ideas. You're likely a very creative person, whether that's creative in the sense of art, or creative in the sense of business, or creative just in the sense of being able to think outside of the box. You're a very creative person. And you are going to do a lot with that creativity moving forward. And we've got the Ace of Blades. The Ace of Swords is a card of message. You are going to be getting a message very soon, I'm getting. And this might be a literal message, but for a lot of you, I'm getting it's going to be more of a sign, something more intuitive. The Ace of Swords is actually the card that is correspondent to the Ace of Spades, your pile card. the two cards doubling down is the only two cards on the table for you right now. It kind of doubles down on the fact that you are getting these intuitive inspirations. Like, again, you have been very divinely blessed creatively, regardless of how that creativity shows itself. And you're going to be using that creativity a lot in this new chapter moving forward. And for a lot of you, I'm getting that creativity comes to you in the form of ideas. You are a very idea-oriented person. You have very good ideas. There's a sense that you haven't... There is an idea that you have been keeping on the back burner. It might be one idea, it might be a plethora of ideas, but one thing is for certain, there's something that you've been keeping on the back burner, and you are being guided to pursue this goal or pursue this idea that you've kind of had at the back of your head, and you've kind of dragged your feet on for one reason or another, likely for at least a little bit, because you are not sure if the idea will take or if you will be able to really pursue what you have in your head. Do you know what I mean? Like, really turn your ideas into a reality. A lack of faith in your ability to do that. You are being guided to have faith in yourself. You're being guided to have faith in your abilities. You wouldn't be gifted with ideas that you had no hope of carrying out. You wouldn't be divinely blessed with this creativity that wasn't meant to actually be executed. You know what I mean? It would be cruel. Like, there's no other word for it. It would be rather cruel to be gifted with ideas that are impossible for you to achieve in one way or another. And I'm getting that, again, you are a highly creative person. You might have ideas that feel completely out of your reach right now. We're talking about the ideas that with a little bit of tweaking, they are within your reach, and you will grow and you will build. As a creator, as a business person, even if you're working in an office building, just leveling up, you will grow as you achieve your as you make certain ideas reality. It's like leveling up. Soon you'll be able to achieve goals that felt so completely out of your reach. You just need to take one step at a time and follow the path. Follow... What I'm seeing in my head is Pac-Man. I've been trying to figure out a way to say it that doesn't involve me saying Pac-Man, but I'm seeing Pac-Man, like, eating, like, the dots going forward. You just have to accomplish, like, you just have to eat each dot going forward. It's just a matter of taking one step at a time, making one achievement at a time until things are within your grasp. Things that felt completely out of reach, things that felt like they were in the sky. This is a satellite. Things that felt like they were completely in space. They'll be within reach. You have it in you. It's just going to take some time and a lot of effort. There's no point in lying there. A lot of effort. But you will achieve it as long as you try, as long as you keep moving in the direction that you're meant to move in, as long as you keep pursuing the ideas that you are being gifted with. And we've got the Two of Coins. Now, the Ace of Blades to the Two of Coins, it's an ace to a two. We're looking at progression. And the ace to the two, the one to the two, right? We're looking at progression in the form of, like, the Fool taking his first step. Again, these are ideas that you've had on the back burner. These are ideas that you might not necessarily be able to commit 100% to. Perhaps you have to juggle them, as with the Two of Coins. You might not be able to fully dive in, but you can dip your toes in and find balance. You're being guided to find a balance between achieving and pursuing new ideas and keeping the life that you have and the balance that you need to achieve now in all juggling it all. And you can do it. You definitely have it in you. I'm getting very strong multitasker energy. The same way that she's like looking at one thing while doing another thing without even looking at it. Like, strong multitasker energy. I'm getting that you are a harder worker than you give yourself credit for, especially if you're someone who feels nervous about getting into things that could potentially be a lot of work. You're a much harder worker than you give yourself credit for. I'm getting a lot of energy of like, you don't give yourself enough credit. You definitely don't give yourself enough credit. And it I don't want to say that it holds you back because that feels really negative in like a really bad way, but that's kind of the energy coming through. Like, it holds you back in a lot of ways because you don't pursue the ideas that you're gifted with because you assume that you can't. You assume that it's out of your reach when that's not the case. It might not be within your reach now, but if you move forward and if you take one step at a time, eventually these ideas will be within your reach. And we've got the Knight of Cups coming through. And the way that she is a starlet, right? You are going to be in the spotlight very soon. This next chapter of your life is going to see you very much in the spotlight moving forward. You have very good ideas. You're you're going to pick up the pace very quickly. This next chapter of your life, it might start a little bit slowly, but it will pick up the pace very, very quickly, and you'll find yourself kind of snowballing along. I'm getting there is the energy here of almost like committing to the adventure, committing to the ride, and doing your best to see it all the way through, if that makes sense. The Knight of Cups is the most romantic of all the knights, and there's this sense here that you're being guided to, and this sounds so strange, but you're being guided to romanticize the trek that you have ahead of you. You're going to be in the spotlight and you're going to be doing things that ultimately are going to make you very happy. These ideas have been on the back burner for you. You may have felt like you wouldn't be able to achieve them or don't have what you need currently to achieve them. But once you start achieving them, it's going to bring you a lot of joy. There's going to be a lot of happiness that comes through. The feeling of success is going to be intoxicating. I'm getting. You're being guided to romanticize the work because it will be very hard work. Focus on the good of things. Focus on the positives that are coming through. You're going to be looking at a lot of hard work, and I'm getting with that ace energy to that 2 energy, it's likely that this stagnated period has seen you doing less work in your own mind. Like, and I say that to mean that, like, say that you haven't been working. You just haven't been getting shifts at your job. So you've been home and you've been cleaning the house and you've been doing housework, but you haven't been working. There's the sense that the stagnated period, you feel stagnated while not giving yourself credit for the things that you have been doing. You haven't been at work, but you have been doing housework, but that doesn't feel like it counts to you. This stagnated period feels very much like you have felt like you aren't doing enough in one way or another. And this next period of your life is going to be the exact opposite, where it can feel almost overwhelming and like you're not doing enough. In the flip side of that, you're not doing enough because everything feels like it's coming at you all at once, all the time. There's always something new. This next period of your life is going to be, the direction that you're headed in is going to be very fast-paced. and it's going to see you making a lot of really bold decisions. I'm getting very intuitively guided. You're going to be very intuitively guided going through this next chapter in your life, and it's going to bring you a lot of success. Like, you're going to find a lot of success going forward. And it's success that you will very much deserve, success that will be very, very much work for. Again, it will be a lot of work. There's a lot of work on the horizon for you, but it's work that, as long as you look at it from the right angle, you're going to enjoy. And it's going to bring you a lot of other things that are going to make you very happy. The success, it'll make you very happy doing what you do. And we've got the Empress card coming out right there. You are going to find so much abundance, regardless of how you identify. There's a lot of feminine energy coming through here with the woman in the Two of Cups, and the Starlet in the Knight of Cups, or the Two of Pentacles, I'm sorry, the Starlet in the Knight of Cups, and now the Empress. There's a lot of feminine energy going on here. And by feminine, I mean like yin, internalized energy, right? You are going to grow a lot internally in this next chapter of your life. And I'm getting it's going to be a lot of self-growth in the terms of self-confidence. You're going to be picking up a lot of confidence moving forward. You're going to be very successful. You're going to find success in something that you never thought you could find success in, or something that you wouldn't allow yourself to hope for success in. I'm so sorry. Something that you wouldn't allow yourself to hope for success in. You're going to find success in it, and it's going to bring you a lot of joy, and also the ability to have the comfort to be more confident. You know what I mean? You are very hard on yourself. There's no other word for it. You're very hard on yourself. You expect a lot from yourself is what it is. And when I say that, I mean like in the most like basic way even. Like, I think you expect a lot of production from yourself. You are someone who you expect yourself to put out quite a bit. And there's this energy here of like, I say this, and it might not be applicable to everyone, but I feel like it may be applicable to at least a few people. There's this energy of feeling like you need to produce to justify your being here and taking up space. And whether that's in a certain room with a certain group of people, or literally just being alive, you know what I mean? There's a sense of needing to do the work to justify being here. And this next chapter of your life will see you finding a lot of confidence, and the confidence in yourself to move away from that thought, the confidence in yourself to realize that like you have value regardless of what you do. You have value because there is inherent value in your personhood, regardless of what you can do, regardless of what you do, regardless of what you don't do. Like, you have inherent value because you are a person. And it is heartbreaking in some ways that you would need to find success to really internalize that feeling. But it is also a lovely journey to go on and find. You're going to find a lot of self-worth and value in this next portion of your life. And it's because you'll see your ability to manifest, even in the most basic sense of like, you're going to see something that you created grow, whether that's a business, whether that's like some type of creative project, whether that is a project that you introduce at your job. Like, you're going to see your creation grow. For some of you, this might even be like your child. Like this is like your child is going to start going to school and it's a big transitionary period there. Like regardless of what it is, you're going to see growth happen, and it's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel good enough to be gentle with yourself, with your introspection. There will be a lot of introspection going on in the next chapter of your life. And we've got the High Priestess coming out to cap off that 5-card energy, all of that intuition, and yet more feminine energy, yet more internal energy. You're going to grow so much internally. You're going to find so much peace and balance internally, and you're going to grow very close to, especially if you're a spiritualist, especially if you're someone who has very specific beliefs in like guides or spirits or gods even, like you're going to grow very close to your belief. You're going to open up strongly to your intuition and the source of which it comes from. With the spirit whispering in her ear there, you're going to get very close up and personal with your intuition and what your intuition has to bring to you. Again, this next chapter of your life will see you accomplishing a goal or achieving an idea, making an idea a reality that you genuinely did not think that you would be able to. An idea that was gifted to you specifically so you could do that. And it will give you the confidence that you need to more confidently pursue other ideas that are gifted to you. And we've got the 3 of Coins energy at the bottom of the deck. The 3 of Coins is all about being good at your job, like being recognized for how good you are at your job, being recognized for how this next chapter of your life is going to see you finding a lot of success and a lot of admiration, especially if this last chapter of your life has had you feeling really taken for granted. The next chapter of your life is going to see people appreciating your work and people recognizing your talent and your skill. There are going to be people who are searching for your talent. There are going to be people who want your skill. There's definitely community on its way to you. And I'm getting, especially if this is business related or like creativity related, as in like artistic pursuits, the business that, like, it's business that could potentially be on its way to you. People who want to offer you material paths forward, ways that you can monetize off of the talents that you have. All right, what more can we know, please, about what direction you need to go in? What direction do you need to go in? And we've got the 3 of Cups. All we have is this moment, but isn't it lovely? Try not to think too hard on the future. This will pan out the way that it's meant to pan out. The path ahead of you is meant to sprawl the way that it's meant to sprawl. You are just meant to put one foot in front of the other and enjoy the ride and the manifestation of the journey before you. You are manifesting your reality, and it's meant to be an enjoyable process. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ideas and enjoy the success, especially the success that you weren't expecting, the success that catches you by surprise. And we've got the Queen of Wands. Love it or leave it. Don't think I won't replace you. With all of that fiery Aries energy, you're leading at the front of the pack. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to really put all of your effort into it. Don't be afraid to really hope. Hope is a good thing, and you have a lot of success ahead of you. All right, loves, that is what I've got for you. Thank you so much for being here again with me today. I hope it was fun. I hope it was enlightening. I will see you next time. Bye.